Okay, I think this is it.
There we go.
Hold on, let me get this here. All righty, let's call this meeting to order. Robert's present.
Ray,
Johnson present.
Very good, thank you. Jessica, anybody here? Residents, public comments or anything? No? Okay. All righty, let's see, in terms of the approval of the minutes from August 10th, any changes, corrections, anything of that nature, Ray?
No.
Okay, very good. Jim, you're good too?
yes.
Okay, approval of the August 10th, 2021 minutes. All righty, moving along smartly. Okay, we're going to turn over the stage to Mr. Hunt.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Oh, I don't have my, so the first up, we're gonna talk about Sandia Creek and Villa Vaquero. I'll let Ron kind of talk about the environmental update.
Oh yeah, so for Sandia Creek, I'm not sure if everyone's heard, but we do have we've had the good news that we did receive the environmental permitting. So we have all 3 environmental permits finally. So we are full speed ahead now. We spoke with our contractor Marietta, and we got them the notice to proceed. They're ordering some pipe. They're getting everything ordered so they can start as soon as possible. But they're looking at around an October 25th start date, just to get everything delivered. So we will be seeing finally some progress on the project in the construction form. So it's a happy moment for that one. It's been a long battle, but it's good to see it go. And then so we'll be moving ahead with that, and then getting the construction crew out there and moving into construction. So that's the good news I have for Sandia Creek and Villa Vaquero.
Okay, very good.
And the one thing I want to add is that we're gonna work with them to update to start sooner than that, because they got work to do before the pipes show up. They got to clear and grub the whole site, do something like that. So we're gonna get them out there a little sooner than that, but that's the last date possible. So anyway, that's kind of the update on the construction.
Okay.
Part of the job at Sandy Creek is that we had the detour. So Jessica, if you could put that PowerPoint back up, we can talk about it. So we detoured a bunch of traffic, and we knew that if we put a lot of traffic out there, there could be some issues that could come up. We purposely didn't stripe that street, but when we did all the striping out there, and so we went out and looked at some stuff. So Steve went out there and looked at the striping issues, and then we sent a pavement guy out there. And then Ron did some work on it. So if you go to the next page. Guess we're stuck on this one. There you go. So this is the detour that was set up to get around the site that all the cars went on. So go to the next page.
Maybe just clarify, the detour route was Sandia Creek and De Anza. You turned, if you're traveling southbound on Sandia Creek, you turned right on De Anza to the intersection of Terra Rica, where you turned left. Then you turned left again on Buenos Campos and traveled that's the longest distance. And then you turned right when you came back to Sandia Creek to continue southbound towards San Diego or Oceanside.
Yeah, it was a 1.6 mile detour. It's on there. Anything else, Jim?
Nope, that's all. I just wanted to clarify it for the record.
Oh, okay. Okay, next page.
Can we go back to that photo of De Anza?
I got the photo showing up.
There you go. Now, okay. So this is De Anza Road, which would be the most easterly section, correct? Of the detour.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah.
The first leg. of the-
And this is a photograph of the road.
Right. What I want to talk about in De Anza is that back when in 2016, when we did the pavement rehab or the pavement ratings on it, that
The
the pavement ratings, it was in good condition or fair, it had a 67 on there. And you can see from the photograph that it's in good shape. I mean, there's the striping could be refreshed, you know, because we didn't do it before, but the street itself is in really good shape, and it still was then, and it still is now. So go to the next page. Guess we got a delay going on here.
We can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah, I think yours is taking a little longer, Dave.
What do you see? Because I see De Anza Road again.
Oh, it's-
De Anza Road analysis.
Okay, I don't see that, so I don't know. There we go. So that's what we talked about. They found no potholing, no immediate need repair. If we decided to go back and do a slurry seal on it, that would cost about $65,000. We don't feel that it's necessary right now. It's on our list of projects to do in the future for slurry seal. But what we feel, and be like the rest of these projects, to restripe it, just to freshen it up, because we did so much of the other city we restriped and or the district. So this would be restriping would be a good thing to do. All right, can you go to the next page?
You know, Dave, I'm gonna insert here, that looks like De Anza. And the other one, I think, looks like Tierra Rica. I think those two got switched, but they're both in good condition, so the photos are gonna look very similar.
Confirm that, and I'll double check, yes.
Yeah,
Thanks for pointing that out, Steve.
yeah, that way you can have that ready, switch it around for tomorrow.
Okay.
There's Tierra. I got Tierra Ricotta showing up on my picture right now. Is that what everybody else has?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Few normal cracks in the street, but you know, really not anything special. Okay, go to the next page. Not sure why mine is going so slow.
We haven't changed yet. Jessica,
Maybe these photos are huge.
we're on the next photo. Buena Campos.
Okay, that's same condition, good repair for Terravada, and there's a price to do a slurry seal in there. So let's go to the next page.
I think we want to be on the first photo of Buenos Campos.
I'm on Tierra Ricotta analysis still, so
There you go. Yeah.
Buenos Campos, okay, there's a photo of that. On that one, I just wanted to point out there are some potholes out there.
Okay.
You can see those. Up front there, there's a few of those. And those are scattered throughout. What we're recommending on this is that the Public Works crew go out there and kind of fix some of these up. During their time out there, that they can repair some of these. And then again, restriping. Okay, go to the next page. Ron, what are you looking at?
Looking at the second photo of Buenos Campos now.
Okay,
There's some stress cracks on the left-hand side in the pavement.
yeah, that's not showing up on mine. Okay, put up the, get to where it puts up the cost estimate on the,
There we go. So we're seeing the cost estimate now, Dave.
all right, Ron, I can't see it, so why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, so for Buenos Campos, yeah, sorry, it looks like there's some technical difficulties, but I could jump in. So you can see on the screen here, we have the analysis there. You saw the potholes, there was some cracking going on. So for this one, if you look at that, our 2016 PCI rating for this one was actually a 55, which in layman's terms, that's basically a poor condition. So it was bad before the detour, but it's only, it's maybe getting worse, but it's hard to attribute it to the detour route. But the street is definitely showing some wear and tear. We saw the potholes unraveling. But you can see the cost to actually fix this would be the recommended option because of how severe the potholing was and the cracks everywhere would actually be a full grind and overlay, which is a much more expensive project, especially as a standalone, running at around just under 500K. And then if we were to do a slurry seal, it's not the best recommended option, but it will at least temporarily fix it. But the potholes will come back. But that would be at $135,000, and you can work. You can do minor patch repairs to help with that. But that's why we're recommending a grind and overlay for a full fix. But you can see there's a cost to these, and the reason the cost is higher than our other slurry seal jobs is because these are small standalone jobs. When you lump them together, the prices go down, the unit prices. So that's why, we have these heavy prices, but for right now, I think we're just recommending, I think we just go in and stripe everything because we want to get this as part of a larger package of the project. And Dave, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but for the time being, I think it's best to just go in and stripe and wait till we can get a full project to lump all this stuff together and do everything the right way.
Yeah, I agree. So we can refresh the street up by restriping and fixing some of the potholes out there with their own crew, just so that the residents that are out there see that we're, trying to fix a few things that we probably wore down a little bit. Just remember that the streets were in these conditions before. And so we're going to do some minor repairs out there until we get it on the next, either this year or next year's, CIP budget next year or two, and put it all out at one package. Is there any more pictures on this PDF?
That was the last of it, Dave.
Last one. So kind of that's our summary of it. We don't feel the detour did a lot of damage out there. That, there's wear and tear. It probably wore and tear just a little bit more, but there's two of the streets are in great shape and are still there. And the other street has been in bad shape, still is, but if we fix up a few areas, I think Steve's even mentioned before, there's some shoulder areas that some of the pavement was getting worn off because of the cars driving off the road just slightly, things like that. But those are stuff that his crew can go out there and kind of fix, and we can show progress that, hey, we're cleaning this up after, and this is after Sandia Creek opens back up, and then restripe it. And I think it wouldn't cost this. Ron, do we have a ballpark on restriping for 1.5 miles or 1.6 miles?
I don't have that ballpark put together as simply just a striping, but it's something I can definitely put together.
Okay. Steve, any ballpark idea?
Center line and edge lines on RPMs, probably 15,000.
Yeah. Something like that. which is a reasonable number, and then the crew can go out in their maintenance, kind of clean up a few other little things out there. And then I think I can wait until we do our next projects out there.
Now, we have to restripe Sandia and Via Vaquero, so wouldn't we make that one package?
We could,
Yeah, and that would bring the cost down because it's based, your pricing is going to be based on unit pricing, so if you do it that way there, then the move-in mobilization costs is spread over the whole thing.
yeah, we can ask the existing contractor to do that.
Which gets it all done at the same time and right away.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah,
I have one option I was going to ask about. If you look at Buenos Campos closely, quite a bit of the damage is on the outside edges. We can certainly, do some patching and potholing and stuff like that, but it might be prudent to see if we could cost out or mark out some areas that maybe the contractor, when he's doing the paving for Sandia Creek, that he could come in there and pave a couple of, small sections, a 5 by 30 foot long trench here, or, 4 by 4 patch there, that kind of stuff. Because again, same thing, mobilizing somebody independently to do that gets real expensive, but if we did it as part of that other contract, he's already got the asphalt and everything out there, the crews out there, stuff like that, then, we could mark it out and have it all ready for him to go. They could just come out and dig out a few of those places where it's kind of buckling.
yeah, we could do that, but it would, when you do things like that, because I know on some other jobs we did that, next thing you know, the price is like close to $20,000 for something like that. That's what I would expect to see come back as an extra. Which now you're getting up there kind of expensive. Whereas if you wait just a year or two, you can do it all at once.
Even if you do the patch repairs, you still got to come back and do the full roadway at some point. So I guess would be my take on that.
Yeah,
Well, and if we take the traffic off to that point, if we take the traffic off, patch repairs and potholes will be far less for the next 2 years. If you have a project, say 2 years down the line to repave it, then that would certainly fall in line with than just patch and repair to get through 2 years, because there won't be that much traffic on it then.
correct.
Those streets are carrying, 1,600 to 2,000 cars a day, and that'll drop down to, 200 cars or 100 cars a day. It's going to go way down,
I agree.
Okay.
You okay with that, Jim?
Yes,
Okay.
so I guess that concludes our report, right?
It concludes our report on Sandia Creek. So if you guys have any questions?
No, good to go.
Sorry, I couldn't see the pictures as they were, you guys did, but became kind of frustrating for me. All right, the next one is Buena Vista, and I'll let Ron do some talking on the environmental that's going on for Buena Vista.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. So basically the environmental, so all the permit packages have been put together. We've been coordinating with the board, the 3 agencies basically. And, they're still requesting piecewise a few little documents. So we're finalizing the last little things that they're requesting, but we have started the same process that we did, the preliminary process that we went through for Sandia Creek. We're starting that all with the agencies to ensure these packages get pushed through as fast as possible. Now that they've actually seen the initial packages and everything, they're giving us, their input. So that when we do have the full submittal of these packages, they can just go in and out and just get it as fast as they can. So they're getting all their comments in, and we're getting that all done. But everything is still, moving forward. But we're still on, we're still looking for the same that we've been saying. Looking like spring, we can get these permits. So that's really the goal we're striving for, and trying to keep that same thing we've been kind of discussing. So nothing, no new changes on that, just progress on what we've done since the last meeting.
Okay, very good. All righty, thank you, Ron.
Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on, Mr. Steve, traffic issues.
Okay, we had a couple. Jessica's got a little presentation there. Most of these are just updates of things you've probably already seen. The loose road, the county chip sealed the entire roadway from boundary to boundary. And I talked the traffic engineer into when they put the center line striping down to add RPMs to the entire street when it's finished. So that'll help give a lot more positive guidance during poor weather, fog conditions, and everything else, and kind of give some bumps along the center line to keep people on their half of the road. We're moving around the changeable message board. It's over on Avenida de Oro, and the next streets we'll be moving it to are there listed. We got a sinkhole, thank you. And so that's the before picture of Carancho. Had to call the boys out, and we had a local contractor who was in the area doing some work, so we were able to negotiate a good price for him to come in and pop that right in.
Do you know what caused the sinkhole?
How much that one cost us?
No, what caused it?
Oh, what caused it? No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we had somebody playing some games with here. If you can guess what's wrong with which sign.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, there's the real sign. It's supposed to be 5 tons, but somebody, I guess, wanted to drive a 15-ton truck, so they made it 15 tons or so. We fixed that, and we're all good with the traffic report. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
No, but that was a good one at the end. Very good. Okay, field report.
Yeah, our maintenance update here. Some ongoing things we're doing is we got Rancho Cal Water District to finally repair this leaking valves. This has been going on for a few months, but they finally come up with a solution and got that all patched and done. So we're good there now. Then we found a few things here. So this was Colina. Somebody decided to put one of those 40-foot long storage bins on our street and make traffic drive around it. We call the CHP, and that's what it looks like now. Similarly, on Carancho, somebody didn't have a use for this really nice trailer other than to live in it. There were some people living in it. And so one of the neighbors decided to lock it up and lock them out. So that got rid of the people, but they didn't get rid of the trailer. So we called the CHP again. Now the trailer's gone. The only bad news is on the next slide, you'll see the people living in that trailer left a lot of trash behind for us to pick up. So that'll be cleaned up later this week. This was a safety issue that we were reported by, I think one of our board members told us about this, but this was on Sandia Creek, right next to Todd's house. And fortunately, it was right next to Todd's house because Todd went out there and cut this thing down for us and moved it off to the side of the road so that nobody would hit this. This is the tree that actually fell over. That's what was left on the side of the road. It got uprooted there and just fell to the ground. And that's what we got left to cut up and get hauled away. So I got the tree service coming out to take this thing off the road and get it out of there. So
Actually, if I remember, Steve, that tree hit a car, a BMW.
Oh,
okay,
And it-
Debbie. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's the one, I believe. Todd called me because he saw it. And he assisted the motorist who he knew, it was a resident. And they pushed it, he and a landscape contractor who was driving along. Anyway, they moved it off the road, got it off the car.
Yeah,
but it did hit and damage a car that was owned and driven by a resident who was not injured.
okay, thank
So
you.
just a little more to the story there.
Never a dull moment out in Duluth.
Right.
Oh, not to be outdone, this big oak tree decided to fall a few days later and completely blocked the road. And fortunately, nobody ran into that thing. Our guys got out there pretty quickly and got it cut in half. So at least traffic could kind of see around it, go around it, but you wouldn't want to drive through that brush because you see in the next slide here, that was a pretty good sized tree. And that branch that broke was about 2.5, 3 feet in diameter. So there's, you'll see the next one here, call the contractor in. So you've got a pretty substantial log in there that's hidden in all that brush. So it would have done some damage if you had tried to sneak through the bush. But we got it out of there, no injuries. No, there's the size of the log. That's how big that tree was in there. So, and not to be outdone, we had 1,000 or more bees that the contractor had to deal with in the tree. So that didn't make cutting it up very much fun. And
Wow.
that's the shoulder afterwards. So there's the final product. So
Did you guys have wind out there or something that caused all these trees to come?
you know, the tree contractor said it just rotted. It just died inside. It was just rotted. It, you know, you could kind of see that tree was kind of hollow.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And he said it just got rotted and it got brittle. And then the weight of the tree, it just, you know, snapped. So, you know,
Hmm.
yeah. And that's our maintenance report. If we answer any questions that you have.
Oh, well done. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Wow, coming to the bottom here. Mr. Jim? Anything from you, Jim?
Oh, not really.
I threw you
I
off the
think
list, right?
everyone knows about the county marijuana cultivation farm. And there will be an item on our agenda, not about the farm itself or the zoning or anything like that, but just concerns as it relates to our supplemental sheriff. And in fact, you will receive a copy of a letter from Mary Ann to the sheriff, which will be discussed and considered as an item on your agenda tomorrow night. And that's all been reviewed by legal and various other people. And so I'm sorry it's late. It was a last minute item. As we all know, the permit was submitted to the county planning department. It's being reviewed by the county planning commission. Anyone, including board members, is free to comment to the planning commission about this. But as far as the district, we weren't delegated any authority in that regard. So anyway, we'll discuss it in more detail tomorrow night, but that's really the county information. I've got a couple things that I'll be giving my manager's report tomorrow night, but and then I guess Debbie, do you and your report on the engineering committee, since you'll have the floor, do you want to just add to the end some comments regarding the CSDA conference?
Sure, I can do that.
Because we need to report on it to the board pursuant to the state law and everything. And I'm thinking you don't have to give much. I mean, in terms of detail, just maybe a few highlights or what we got out of it. And then if you wouldn't mind mentioning Teresa and myself,
Yes,
can we just call it one report?
sure, we can do
And
that.
we'll write the minutes as such, and maybe it was a first time for you, so maybe that's your, what do you call it, your theme?
Okay,
You know, this is the first time, and basically your impression was,
okay.
you know, blah, 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 2 or 3 points. And then if anybody wants to ask you questions, they can, but they probably don't want to sit through the 3 of us reading the agenda and everything we got out of this.
Okay,
Excuse me, I'm getting a cold, so anyway,
okay, very good.
if you don't,
I don't mind at all. I'll do that, definitely. I'll make that the last item on my report out.
okay,
Okay. Also, just to go back on the cannabis thing, just to let you know, received a phone call from Eddie Rodriguez, and he was just letting me know that there was going to be another community meeting on that topic tomorrow. And he said that the individuals that are doing this said their plans are until, I guess, the next meeting with the commission, that they're going to meet every Wednesday. So I guess they're trying to get their ducks in order and things of that nature in terms of having the chance to respond back again. So just to let you know that.
okay, great.
All righty. Okay. Anything else? Any other comments or questions, gentlemen? No? Okay. It was nice seeing you all, but I'll see you again tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.